Hi everyone. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to go over Excel Module 4. Basically, that's charts and graphs. So this is an important one. It's kind of missed a lot on the exam. So I want to make sure that you know how to do all this stuff well. So um, on page 80, it talks about planning a chart. And the biggest thing about planning a chart is it can do it for you. If you're not sure what kind of chart to use or whatever, again, we're inserting a chart. So which tab do you go to? We automatically, when we say the word insert, we should automatically think the insert chart tab. Now, it can also, the nice thing about this is if you're not sure which kind of table to use, and your assignments and your test will tell you which kind. So again, you're not going to have to know this for the test or anything. But if you're not sure, there's something up here called recommended charts. If you click on it, it will kind of tell you, maybe this would be the best chart, or this would be the best chart. So this is kind of the recommended charts area. Again, it's nothing you're going to be tested on or anything. So that's the important part. Okay, and our first chart, we're going to do a line chart. And basically, the biggest thing, the most important thing on a chart or a graph is to select the right information. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's say this test is, we're going to select A5 or A4 down to E12. Again, remember, start in the upper left, hold your mouse down, and drag down to the lower right. A4 to E12. And then I'm going to insert a column chart, or bar chart. You click the down arrow, and it will tell you, do we want to do a 2D? Do we want to do a 3D? Do we want to make it sideways? Do we want to make it up, down? Again, it will generally tell you which one to use. I'm going to use a 3D clustered column. So I can click on it. So, again, down here, this is called the legend. Okay, the legend is up here. This is the chart area that we're doing it. The legend is here. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Corresponds with the colors. And then we have our, right here, the countries. Australia, Brazil, Britain, France, Germany, India, Malaysia. Okay, and then it puts the numbers in a bar setting. Now, you know, sometimes when you do this, it will tell you, it'll figure out what the chart title is and it'll put it in there. If it doesn't do that for you, you can double click on it, highlight it, and type in your new title. And spell it right. Click away, and you will notice that you have your chart now. Now, two things about a chart as well. Notice when I click in my chart, I have a line around it with O's or zeros or dots on the corners, the tops, and the sides. If I click away from it, notice how those disappear. When you're working in the chart, you always want to make sure you click in it. Now, besides those lines and darts, you'll notice we have a chart tools. Remember the contextual tab. So I have a chart tools tab up here. I click away. Notice how that tab went away, and we're no longer working in the tab. So that's important to remember. Whenever you're working in the chart, make sure that you're clicking in the chart to make it active. There may be times when we need to move and resize the chart, and that is covered on page Excel 84. Easiest way to move it is, I always tell, put your cursor up here in this white area on either side of the title. Click your mouse, hold your mouse down, and notice how I can move it around. And wherever I drop it, that's where it's going to be. I can also resize it as well by grabbing one of the dots. I can make it smaller. I can make it bigger. Okay, so again, you can resize the chart as well. And On page Excel 86, it talks about changing the chart design. I can do that as well. Again, first of all, make sure that you're clicked in the chart is active. Make sure you're in your chart tools, the design tab, and see over here, change chart type. If I click on it, I will get all the different types of charts that I can change it to. I can do a column, I can do a bar, I can do it this way. I mean, again, it's all the different ones that you can choose. Choose the one that you need and say OK. And now you'll see it changed it to, again, a horizontal bar instead of an up and down. Okay, on page Excel 88, it kind of talks about changing the chart format and changing something called axes labels, okay? And we'll be discussing that in this one. The first one in the chart layout, okay? Our chart format. Again, make sure chart is active. You're in your design. And see that we have right here, add chart element button. Here we have quick layout. Okay, so in changing the format, we may want to decide, maybe we want to see some grid lines here. We can go up to the Add Chart Element button, click on the down arrow, go down to Grid Lines, and maybe we want the horizontal. Remember, horizontal means side by side, vertical means up down. So I can click on it, and you'll notice it puts the grid lines in here. Now, the axes titles, those are titles that we can put right here to tell what these numbers mean and what these countries mean, okay? So to do that, the easiest way is, notice how when I'm in my chart, I also have this little plus sign here, chart elements. If I click on the chart elements, it gives me these. Right now, we don't have axes titles in. So if I click on it, the box, notice I put axes title here, axes title here. Again, it didn't pick up what they are, so I have to highlight them. And this one I could put US dollars. Down here, I might want to type in, again, highlight it, tour countries. So again, now when someone's looking at this, they can tell, oh, okay, these are US dollars, and these are the countries that our tours go to. So that's putting in your axes titles into a table. The last thing with format is maybe we want to make the title stick out a little bit more. So again, to work on the title, again, you have to activate it. So go put your cursor over it and double click. Notice how now it says it's highlighted, okay? And I also get the format chart title, okay? And you can decide, do you want fill or a border? Remember, fill is the color inside, a border is the line on the outside. So I'm going to do a fill, and maybe I want a solid fill. And I can pick my color. Maybe I'm going to do a very light blue. Okay. Then I want to do a border. I can click on the border. And I just want a solid line. And let's say I'm going to make that a dark blue. And maybe I want to make it 2 points. So click on the arrows to make it 2 points. And when I'm done, I can X out of it and click away. And now you'll see I have a border with a very dark blue line around it and a light blue on the inside. Okay, on page 90, it talks about formatting a chart, okay? So the word I just said, you're formatting a chart, all right? So now in the chart tools, we have to click on the Format tab, okay? So I can click on it, and it has different styles that you can choose, okay? Right over here under Shape Styles. So I can click on the down arrow, and let's say the directions tell you to go with a olive green accent 3 shape style. Okay, so again, color fill black, color filled blue, color filled red, color filled olive. And this one says accent 3. Notice here, this one says accent 3, olive green, accents 3. Okay. So again, you can just highlight them until you see the one that you're supposed to. And outline color, filled olive green accent 3. Again, so again, just look at the ones. Shape style, moderate effect, intense effect. Okay, so again, and just look for the one that you do it. And again, don't on something like this. You're not going to be on the test on it. This particular one. Don't spend a ton of time looking for it. But again, click on it, and you'll notice it changed the chart style. Okay. So again, all these different ones change the style. Okay, on page 92, it talks about anoint and draw a chart. You don't have to do this particular one. You can try it, but you don't have to do it on your homework. You don't have to do it on your test. So don't really work on that one. Problem is, a lot of what I found out in the last couple classes that a lot of people's home computers, it didn't work. And even a couple inside the classroom didn't work. So again, you can try it if you want. It's no big deal. So again, it's nothing that's important. Skip it. You're also going to skip that step on your assignment. So again, no big deal. The next one, create a pie chart. This is a big one, okay? And this one pay close attention to because I'm also going to teach you something that the book doesn't do, and you are going to have to do it on the test, okay? So again, please pay attention. Okay, a pie chart. A pie chart is when you have something that it's a smaller amount of information, okay? With all this information that's on this particular chart, a pie chart wouldn't be advisable. Pie charts are something smaller, okay? So I can take a look at this, okay, and say I wanted to do the countries and the totals, okay? So countries and totals. Now, on this particular one, okay, we're going to select data. We're going to select data A4 to A12 and F4 to F12, okay? So, when I do that, notice how I do A4 to A12, and then if I go over to F, notice what happens. This over here goes away. When you're selecting non-continuous data, okay, that means I'm not going from A4 all the way down to F12, okay? I just want column A and column F. What you need to do is you need to follow these steps. First step, highlight the first set of data, A4 to A12. Then, step 2, hold the control key down. And then, highlight F4 to F12. All right. Notice now I highlighted A4 to A12 and F4 to F12. You have to do those 3 steps. Highlight the first set of data, hold your control key down, and highlight the next set. I mean, I can continue going on if I want. I mean, I can highlight data. I mean, I can highlight as much as I want. So again, when you're holding the control key down. Now, it's a common thing for people to do, and it happens all the time. You're thinking, oh my God, I got to hold the control key down. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold the control key down first. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to highlight this data, and then I'm going to highlight this data, just like I'm supposed to. But notice over here, this was where my cursor was. That was my active cell when I held, because I held the control key down first, that also got included. So then what's going to happen when I go to try to insert my chart, my pie chart? Nothing's going to happen. I'm either going to get a warning that tells me Excel didn't understand what you were trying to do, or I'm going to get a chart that's empty. Okay, it's just going to be a blank chart. Okay, so again, just remember, highlight first set of data, control key, highlight next set of data. Okay, again, we're inserting a chart. We're going to do a pie chart, so that's right here, pie. And I'm going to choose a 3D pie. So now you'll notice I get the pie chart. It did pick up total up here from here. It picked it up going, I think that's the total. And you'll notice down here it gives you the country colors on each one it represents. And again, the title of total. You can always change the title by clicking in it and everything. So that's how we can work on that. Okay, so like I said, you can change the title. Maybe we wanted to say total sales. So I'm just going to add total sales. Then I can also add data points to it. Okay, so again, just click on the chart again till you see the little green plus sign right here. I can click off this. I don't need that. Click on the arrow, and like I said, maybe I want to add data labels. And I can click the arrow right here to give me more. That was putting the data labels now in the center, the inside end, the outside end, best fit, data callout if you want. Those are the more common ones. I'm just going to say I'm going to keep it at the data callout. So now it gives me my chart. It shows me which countries they are. So now I've got the countries here. I've got the the callout. So now I really don't need the legend down here. I can click on it, and then notice how it's highlighted, and then just hit the delete key. That's how you get rid of the legend. And again, you'll have to do that on the test as well. So just keep that in mind. The last thing I'm going to show you, again, is on the test, and you will need to know how to do this. It's moving the chart to its own chart page. Right now, this is just a chart inside our worksheet here. Okay, I want to give it its own worksheet. So now to do that, make sure it's highlighted, and then up here, make sure you're on the Design tab, Move Chart. Click on the Move Chart, and again, right now, this is an object in Sheet 1. Now, we haven't renamed Sheet 1. Remember last lesson we did the renaming. Right now, it's an object in Sheet 1. We want to put it on a new sheet, a new worksheet. So you need to click on that button. And again, now once that is there, notice how once I clicked on it, it highlighted in gray. It knows you shouldn't keep this called Chart 1. So I'm going to type in total sales, and I'm going to say OK. So now you'll notice it moved it to its own chart page. Okay, so now we have a chart on its own page. If I go back to Sheet 1, it's gone. It's no longer there. It's no longer part of that worksheet. It's now back on this tab called Total Sales. So I can click on Total Sales, and there it is. So again, that is moving a chart to its own chart page. It's on the test. It's not in the book, so it's just what you're getting from me here. Please remember that. That covers everything you need to know in lesson module 4. I will be coming out with another video, like I said, early next week, telling you basically what is going to be on the Excel production test next Thursday. Again, you got to be there. Like I said, I will give you a new video telling you everything what you need to know on the test. So please keep that in mind. Watch for it. I'll email when I get it to you. But other than that, everybody, have a great day, and I will talk to you later.